Well, it's April 24th. It's, I don't know, probably about 5 in the afternoon or 5 in the evening, whatever you want to say. Uh, just turned the girls out here into their summer pasture, or the beginning of it. Um, there really isn't a whole lot here yet, but it's like 70 degrees today, and I think things are about ready to explode. But that being said, I want them to kind of mull around in that brushy spot over there, or this whole area here, because I want to get it cleaned up. It last year, all this over here looked just like this. It was all just trashy, just grown up, overgrown crap. Yeah, and now by the time I rotate them guys around there to that part, there'll probably be some nice grass for not where I want it to be, but it's better than it was. But yeah, so what I got in mind is as these girls get that all ate down and they'll kind of run out of stuff to eat, I'm going to start running them across this rye here. This is that spot. I'm going to do a few different things with black beans here in planting into the rye. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but some of it involves planting green if the conditions are right. I'm not sure if it'll. I tried it once before and it was just so dry and hard could hardly get the planter in the ground. So I might not do that. I might spray it early. I might I don't know what I'll do, but anyway, so I'm kind of waiting around for the girls to make sure they're settled down and before I leave for the night. I'm gonna go I'll go show you some of the other crops I got going right in this area. Well, it's got some juice there. It could be better, but it could also be worse. They're used to it, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, if you guys want to look back on some of my videos from like a year ago, or 10 or 11 months ago, this area here was, like I said, this was just real nasty brush, just like that is way over there at the end of my finger, and where the cattle are right now. But yeah, I helped it out a little bit, but the girls did most of the work. This was all really bad too, and yeah, I was really making them eat it. I wasn't starving them to death, but they actually I think they kind of liked all that brush. But that was later in the year. It was like June when I turned them out here. Maybe even, yeah, it was like June, middle of June, late June. But yeah, so there was a lot of leaves on these trees and stuff at the time. But yeah, now there's a lot of, I don't know, some sort of thistles growing here now, and it's probably going to be a few years before this is in really good shape, but I think it will be. I'm really happy with it. I drive here a lot, so it's not really going to grow that good. But yeah, that down in the ditch, once the ditch dried up, I ran them through there too. There's a lot for them to eat out here, even though, and it's normally wasted land. That's what's cool about cattle. They, these ditch banks and these little swales, we can't clear it because, I don't know, USDA has it considered wetlands or whatever they call it. Woods, basically, we can't clear it. So, as far as I know, it's okay to graze cattle in it. I hope it is. But yeah, you can kind of see these green spots. I'm going to go show you the oats. Okay, here I stand in the oats. This was really, it's been there for, well, about a month. It was like, I want to say it was March 25th, I believe I planted these. I had a video, I think it was called Mudding in the Oats. Mud in the oats. But anyway, yeah, what I did was broadcasted the oats on with a fertilizer spreader and just went back and disked them in. I think they're planted at about, well, probably a good heavy, yeah, a good heavy 5 bushels to the acre. But what's cool about it is even in this spot where I couldn't get it, it was too wet to disc. The oats is still coming up. It was kind of like frost seeded in. This is what I was really wondering about, whether this would work or not, because you know, if this works, if I get a pretty decent stand, that's how I'm going to plant my oats from now on. Not even disc them in. Just get out here as early as I can, broadcast them on. I might, in the soybeans, this was soybeans last year now, and I might either with a drone or just a little spreader on the back, like a 3-point spreader on the back of the tractor, but spread some cover crops. I'll have to figure out what, but put some cover crops in the soybeans before they drop leaves, and that'll put more trash on the ground. And yeah, from the frost and the rain and the snow, maybe that'll work it down under the trash, give it a good, you know, seed to soil contact, and I think it should work. This worked good last year. I got a really good stand doing it with the disc like this. I got a really good stand last year of oats. I don't know exactly what they ran, but they don't look quite as good where I couldn't drill it or couldn't disc it in, but I think it's just because it's not, there's not quite the contrast there is on the other spots like there. But yeah, it poked out of the ground about 5-6 days ago, and yeah, it hasn't quit growing since. Okay, now here's a quick little walk through this rye field. This is the rye field that I no-tilled the rye into. It was oat stubble with, well, volunteer oats, which were good and green, and actually some of them were even kind of heading out. And then there's also a buttload of weeds in it. So yeah, it was kind of an experiment. This is kind of a farm around and find out thing. And there's some spots, there's some bare spots where the straw was, and I don't know, for whatever reason they just didn't grow where the straw was. Don't know why, but yeah, there's some bare spots, dead spots, non-growing spots, whatever you want to call them. But for the most part, it's a pretty good stand. It's growing pretty good, and I think I did put some, I only put like half of what I usually put as far as fertilizer. It's like triple 14 with some calcium in it. And I put 100 pounds to the acre. Normally I put 200 pounds on the rye. I don't like to get too much nitrogen in it. I'm always afraid it's going to fall on me. But that's pretty much it. I guess that rye, well, from where that ditch bank comes out, kind of all the way to the front, that the rye that way is all volunteer rye, and that is what I'm going to plant. Actually, I'm going to take a walk over there. Okay, now I'm into the volunteer part of the rye field, and there's a good bunch of grass, weeds. I don't know how big of a deal that's going to be when I go to plant into it green. But it does have a pretty good stand of rye, and I'm hoping the rye will kind of smother out some of the grasses and stuff. I am going to go over this with 2,4-D, mainly because last fall I did not get a real good, I planted a cover crop in it of, I put 1 bushel of rye, I can't remember how much, a little bit of buckwheat, a little bit of, I didn't put enough, I didn't plant it heavy enough. I think this is a radish growing. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I didn't plant the cover crop quite thick enough, and the weeds kind of go crazy in here too. But so if I put hit it with 2,4-D when I do the rest of my rye, probably do some 2,4-D, some calcium, and some, on the rye I'll use Palisade, growth inhibitor, and then On this side, yeah, it'll be, I think I'm gonna do molasses and calcium as well as the 2,4-D. Then they're Roundup ready soybeans, so if it doesn't work out, I can always spray them. I really don't want to, but I'm sure I'll have to spray some spots because there are some spots that probably won't do me any good to plant green. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I just want to kind of see the cattle up there. They look like they're pretty content. They weren't there last year, but they were in the area, so they know what the fence is. They know kind of where they're at. So I think they're happy to be back out here. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching Thumb Country Stuff, and take her easy.